Good afternoon, dear tutor and classmates. I am Elena Sofia Leal Lozada, and this is my video for the step number 5, that is about the final exam. So today I'm going to explain to you a proposal of evaluation that I make. So let's just start. Okay, the first thing that I want to mention is the population that I choose individually in the step number 4. In this case, I choose the first population that, according to the activity guide, is characterized as following. 9 siblings aged 12 and 14 years who receive paid English lesson because their parents want to travel to an English-speaking country in a period of approximately 3 years. So this student received 3 hours of English class every 2 days at home with a private teacher. Okay, as I already have an idea of what the population is, I think that some characteristics regarding these learnings are: first is the age. These students are at the age of 12 to 14 years old, and this is that they are adults with a good formal education. The second is learners, and the children at siblings that are that similar age, that are recurrent, and most likely they are studying in a good school that allows them to have the possibilities of learning the target language. However, as their parents wish to travel to a foreign country in the future, they enjoy the possibility of having a private teacher who teach and reinforces the English language, so that in the near time they will master maybe the essentials and be able to hold a free conversation. And third is the education, and they receive a private education in a bilingual school, and as the parent will most likely pay for a good education and provide them with the best opportunity to learn what is necessary to allow them to adapt the modern needs of the business world and maybe the production. As for the education provided to them at home, the teacher provides them with the best teaching strategies to respond to their individual needs and personalize. Okay, the number 4 is English level. These learners have a level to A2 to B1. The number 5 is family and socioeconomical status. These children come from a family group with a stable economy, with that among work to support the family, and in general the resources are good to provide a quality education to their children. And finally is learning purposes of the target language. And the main purpose of learning the target language, that is English, is that these children can speak and understand the language and be able to speak fluently, so that in the near future they can travel to a foreign country where the language is spoken, and adults can use their languages skills without a problem. According to the previous characteristics, it is likely that in order to carry out an evaluation process, these students have the following possibilities. They have a good internet access. These learning have mobile devices such as computers and tablets. The teacher can give a personalized teaching, and the students know how to use technology. And they are interested in learning to communicate in the target language, to meet new countries and people. And I think that they have the support of their parents. For this specific case, I decided to use the Structure Global Audiovisual, that is SGAV method, because this methodology emphasizes the presentation of linguistic materials in the situation and the physical and effective participation of language learning in communicative interaction and in a didactic way without the direct teaching of linguistic rules that maybe are teaching in some public schools. And in addition, to fulfill the purpose of the parents traveling in the future abroad, it is quite useful to use a communicative approach that's based to teach children in a meaningful way to communicate and know what to say in everyday situations. And this approach allows you to have a lot of practice and of the languages skills. Okay, this is important. Why the teacher accepts? Uh, I think that is for feedback to a learning, for reinforcement, for confidence building or building on strength and in-house assessments. And in this specific case, the assignment of English for specific purposes, the evaluation activities will be presented through technology or ICT because as we know, students are learning the target language without a communicative purpose. This will lead to the activities being developed continuously through the development of interactive tasks, which may vary such as being able to ask and answer questions, discuss topics of interest with others, with a put and comment on what you found interesting, what you found interesting, pair or group interactions and presentations and dialogue. So it's important to mention that ESP or English for specific purposes. It is needs analysis that determines which languages are more needed by the students and the children, and the syllabus is designed accordingly. For the functional and communicative approach that will be developed in the evaluation, it should be taken into account that the learning develops that the language is based on the need to interact significantly to interact and therefore requires the structures to the extent that they have meaning for the communication needs. In this case, for the activities to develop in the process, the assessment for the children is based on the needs that present and their strengths. For this, the teacher must perform a personalized test to know what level they are in this, so the teacher can proceed to teach the subject in a didactic way. For example, being able to use the vocabulary and structures that they learn in a meaningful context reinforcements that what is taught and increase their motivation. Search on TikTok videos to train the ear to and perform one in a similar way. Once a week, a karaoke will be done. Perform dramatizations on interesting and everyday topics. Create text and sentences individually and in groups. Record audios by reading books to practice correct pronunciation. Play the game Guess Who I Am. The purpose of this game is to say several clues about a character or an animal or color. All that you want to say to guess it. And make crosswords and word searches online. Okay, the assessment. As we know, these students need practice and practice their speaking. Therefore, in order to improve their linguistic skills, a very practical online evaluation that is known as APTIS can be carried out with the children. This evaluation is a modern and flexible English language proficiency test, and you can find this evaluation online here in the white page British Council, and there you can see how to register and receive a certificate of your level. We are in a society where technology is an essential part of everyday life and for all the people. For example, no children and students have access to information that only the teacher had before and not even to be informed. We need a newspaper because social networks have modified this. So, some and according to this, some of the advantage or pros of using technology in a classroom to evaluate students are the web page or application have all kind of resources that you need, and you may simply search for your question in a powerful search engine will get you an answer. Facilitate the clarity through the imagination, and the evaluation of technology is beneficial to society for communication is able because we can to interact with other people from the other country, for example, and increase the productivity by implementation of technology in business, for example. On the other hand, there are some disadvantages. On the other hand, there are some disadvantages of technology, and these are: technology comes up with many positive things in our education, but is also doing some inappropriate work. Young generations are more interested to learn more personally than socially, and you are more addicted to technology, which affects their educational and personal life. And the people are spending more time, which can be hampered for their personal life, and make more the people independent of using technology. And we can see all these days, for example, in a classroom where the children use their cell phones all the time. Okay, some conclusions is that this learning have the main advantage that the parents are interested in learning their languages, and that is why they do everything possible because they have a personalized education, and children may not learn significantly if they don't realize for themselves the importance of learning a language, and they have the right motivation to learn because they want to travel to another country, and this is good. And there is a wide variety of activities and resources to teach through audiovisual media, and there are children that can be still more led and listen very well to advice to improve, and they have the economic possibilities to have direct experience with people who are native speakers. These are the reference. Thank you so much for watching my video, and see you in another opportunity.